What is up YouTube? Welcome back to our latest video. Today is HYROX Manchester. We actually only signed up to this a couple of weeks ago. I feel like they did the tickets so last minute, so our preparation for this event hasn't been that great, but we're doing it a little bit differently this time. We're not doing it in mixed double. I'm going with a girl from the gym called Sherelle, and Alex is doing it with Andrew, who runs a retreat with us. So we're doing the races separately this time. It'd be interesting to see, you know, how we both get on. I think Alex and Andrew are a really good match from a running pace. Like, they're both fast runners. Like, I do hold Alex back, to be honest, on the run. So it'd be good to see them, you know, be able to run at the same running pace and then obviously attack the stations. He probably won't like me saying this, but I think he's gonna, they should, if they execute everything right, they should be on for around a 60-minute time. So I'm rooting for them. They can definitely do it, but let's see. And I'm doing it with Sherelle. Sherelle is an amazing runner. Again, I'm gonna be holding her back, but I think from a strength perspective, I'm a little bit stronger on the station. So we'll see. As long as she doesn't kill me on the runs, it'll be a good race. But yeah, we're gonna take you along with us. I'm actually making my breakfast this morning, but a really good breakfast is super important for HYROX. For anyone that's doing an endurance-based event, your carbohydrate intake before is super important to ensure that you can keep going throughout. The expression hitting the wall is a real thing, and you can really prevent that by making sure you're eating the right things. So anywhere between 1 to 4 grams of carbohydrates per kilo of body weight is optimal, depending on the time of day that your event is. So obviously if your event is, say, later on in the evening, I know some HYROX times, like, you get 8 PM start off times and it's just shockingly bad. But so if you're obviously going to be running at that time of night, then more towards 4 grams per kilo of body weight is going to be optimal. But if you're doing it in the morning, eating that amount of food before you race is not going to be ideal unless you want to get up in the middle of the night. So just making sure that you have an adequate balance of carbohydrates is going to set you up for a race. I'm going to aim between 1 to 2 because our start times are at 2 PM. I'm going to have a really good breakfast now, most of my carbohydrates now, and then I'll probably have like a snack. We'll probably both have a bit of a snack when we leave around 12 because you have to register beforehand. Probably won't have lunch, but then again, we're gonna have like a bit of a carby snack. So I'm just gonna make my oats. So I've just made my oats there. I've done 50 grams of oats, milk. Can't have oats with water. I feel like it just tastes disgusting. Top tip for making really creamy oats and also adding a bit of protein, a bit of yogurt on top. Honestly, it's a game changer. Can't remember who told me about it, but ever since I've done that, I just can't have oats now without yogurt on. A spoonful of Greek yogurt on top. Then also another essential, crunchy spread. To be honest, I normally have, not because of the calories, because it's actually really good for spreading, but Skinny Food Co. do a really good, it's called a protein spread, but to be honest, it's really good because you can drizzle it, whereas this is quite thick, like you can't, that isn't going to drizzle anywhere. So I normally have that one, but I've run out, so we're going with the hardcore stuff today. We're going for crunchy spread. If anyone hasn't seen it before, it's this one. It's really good gear, to be honest. It's really nice. But yeah, extra carbs, needed it today, so that's going to help boost that up. Obviously it tastes amazing. Blueberries, always add micronutrients to your meals. It makes such a difference. Obviously health benefits, but volume, regardless of whether you're eating for performance, fat loss, muscle gain, whatever it is, you should always be having macronutrients, bit of a crunch on top. But yeah, I'll just show you. There we go, there's my breakfast. Look, it looks good, doesn't it, Bruno? Looks nice. So I'm going to tuck into that and then we'll catch up with you just before we go for our pre-event snack.
So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to have for my pre-workout drink. So it's a little bit of a cocktail that I like making myself. I'm not actually a massive fan of those like pre-made pre-workouts, mainly because of the caffeine and things like that. I would rather just have a double espresso than those like crazy pre-workout caffeine stimuluses. However, I'm still a massive fan of beta, so the tingles will still be present, but I just kind of want to show you what I do and why I kind of do that. So I'll just get things out and then I'll kind of speak that through. So first of all, I never really fill up with much water, just because I find that if you have too much water, that's just going to sit on the stomach and not be ideal, especially for something for HYROX, which it's a longer duration, but there's lots of running, and I do find that is something where your stomach being quite full is not the nicest feeling. So literally there is, what's that, 140 milliliters in there. The first thing that's going in is creatine. It looks a little bit B-Tech, but it's just because I prefer putting my subs in tubs. So creatine, this is more just non-negotiable, like 5 grams per day. I never really get too stressed about timings, or there's a lot of intra, pre, post, just make sure you basically get it in. Then we've got our beta. So I genuinely do notice the difference here when I do and I don't have beta. The biggest thing, to be honest, I just find it far easier to, and it could be a little bit placebo, but I find it far easier to get in the zone and just like warm up because of the way that it works, and the way obviously that side effect, I suppose you could say, is obviously that tingling sensation through the whole of your body. But it helps to improve your blood flow, which inevitably then makes it far easier to warm up, right? And I just find I'm primed and I'm sharp and I'm ready. Then we've actually got, these are new products, but absolutely love these. I used to have Bulk's hydration drink, similar kind of idea. So this is My Protein's actually collab with HYROX. It's called the Electro Fuel. The main reason I have it really is for the carbs that's inside of it. So there's 30 grams of carbs and 120 calories. So like it's literally 120 calories, 0 grams of fat, 0 grams of protein, 0.75 grams of salt, so it's good for like electrolytes, and then 30 grams of carbs. Like it's just pure, quick release, fast energy. That again, it's similar like what I said before about the water. It's just not going to affect like my stomach and then when I'm training. So this is actually something I have all these 3 that I've just shown you. That's something I'll have every single day before I train, just for the main reason that when I'm training first thing in the morning, the last thing you want is a big meal or something like that. I will usually have a banana, there is that as well. Literally 1 scoop is all it takes. And then this is something that I'll have, so this is another My Protein HYROX product. This is called just the Electro. So similar kind of idea, but it's not really the carbs, it's more like the salts and electrolytes. So the calories is literally like non-existent on this. I don't think it actually says, which just shows how like it's literally nothing, but it's just like full of vitamin, magnesium, zinc, salts, B12, vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin B1, vitamin B6, like just everything that's basically good from a hydration perspective. You see on the front like sodium, potassium, magnesium. I won't have this before I train first thing in the morning because I do just have an electrolyte tablet when I first wake up anyway. But the reason I have this before a HYROX race is just because you're going to be sweating a lot, so you're going to be using a lot of salts and electrolytes. So I'm just doing that to kind of like boost my system before I go into the session, and then also for the fact that like the heat's not till 3 o'clock, so it's just making sure I'm loaded up. So one thing, and this is actually what I learned after the last race in Birmingham, what I'm actually going to do is I've got a water bottle here, which is actually my post-workout Powerade, which is absolutely my favorite isotonic drinks, like without even a shadow of a doubt. Like a blue Powerade when you've just trained and you're like, you need that like that short like good carbohydrate source. Just look no further. I do prefer Lucozade intra, so when I'm in a workout, when it's maybe like a big, like a competition or something like that, but I just find a Powerade post-workout because it's a little bit less sweet to taste. It feels so good as a hydration drink. So what I'm gonna do, and this is because Birmingham I had to just leave this in the warm-up area, is I'm actually gonna put everything in the Powerade, and then what it means is when I get into the warm-up area, I've done my little bit of a warm-up, or I'm kind of like in the middle of my warm-up and I'll have this drink because I'll literally do it pretty much on the clock before half an hour for like start time, and then at least I can just chuck that in the bin. So it's just one less thing to think about at the end of the race. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll show you as well like a little bit more food side of things. Some bananas there that will definitely be getting tucked into before the start date as well. I keep saying start date, start time.
There's your pre-workout serve.
Thank you.
You're going to share it with Bruno. You like banana, don't you, Bruno? Cheers. So we're all ready to go. Got my jacket on because we've got to walk there. It's pretty cold outside. But whilst we're here, just to let you know, the Gymshark Black Friday sale goes live on the 21st of November. So set your alarms, 4 o'clock UK time. You're going to be able to get up to 70% off the whole website. And with our codes Sarah Lift and Alex D, you'll be able to get an extra 10% off. So we'll pop our links in the description, but make sure you check out the massive Black Friday sale. Just show you before we leave. This is a new puffer coat that we've got on site. It probably or most likely will be in the sale. I wear size small. These are my favourite shorts. These are the legacy shorts. Me and Sherelle are both going to be wearing those. We wear the socks. Full outfit Gymshark, but yeah, we will see you there.
Yes team, so we are all finished. That was actually really good. Obviously it's good to only have done Birmingham 2 weeks ago and then go straight into this. We didn't do it together, which is then a little bit different. And I mean, you've trained a little bit with Sherelle. I've done one like HYROX session with Andrew really, but pretty good for like similar kind of running pace and stuff like that. So that was really good. But I found the 3 laps definitely a little bit more monotonous than Birmingham being 2 laps. I just felt like those runs felt longer. 1 hour and 37 seconds, so a little bit bittersweet because it's always, it would have been really cool to get that sub 1 hour marker. However, like it's a tough ask, right? Like sub 60 is, you've got to push those runs really. Like we did well on the stations. The first run was probably a little bit too quick, but it felt good out there, so yeah.
Target was always to try and beat 106 because that's what Sherelle's done before. She's a really good runner, so it was like just a case of keeping up with her. But yeah, I think it'd be quite nice to maybe do another one in say 3 or 4 months time and see if we can chip away at it again. But either way, I think we both.
Yeah, well, we've got
good result.
We've got our Manchester one in 3 months time, so the plan really and strategy is nailing a lot of interval runs. So we're going to do track session on Tuesday and just absolutely nail those intervals that get really, really fast, and what that is then going to reflect for time on the day. Andrew and I were just talking about it then, like, just to be honest, the thing that you really need to practice on the lead up is running. Just get better at running. The stations is like such a small actually part of it, and you're not going to win or lose on the stations, right? Like, yes, okay, you could probably lose, but you're not going to win on the stations. Like, the winning is done on the runs and being able to push hard. And dealing with the fatigue. So it's also important to train for that, right? Like, you want to know how it feels to run on tired legs, and because if you only ever track run and then you don't know what it feels like when your legs are all puffed up, then you're going to have a pretty big shock when you actually get onto the day. But
now we've got a big break until the next one. It'd be quite nice to just go away, work on what we know we need to work on, and then see if we can beat our time.
I think that's a big lesson as well here. Like, we've only obviously had 2 weeks break between each race, right? And yes, okay, we're not doing it together, so it's not necessarily like for like comparison, but you want to make sure that there's time between events. Like, there's no point in just doing
one every
HYROXs,
couple of
CrossFit
weeks.
competitions, all these things every couple of weeks, because you don't get that opportunity to come away from it and work on it, and therefore you're not actually putting things into a better position. Whereas we've now got 3 months to know what we need to work on, put that into place, and then see that like pay off then in January. So excited for that to come.
You can't expect a PB every single week or every single month, so time really pays big dividends for that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed these HYROX videos. We're going to be still dropping loads of like ways to improve your time, PB, feel stronger, get fitter for those events, and I'll see what that looks like for how you feel about yourself as well. So stay tuned and make sure you hit that big red subscribe button.